Is it woke? Is it anti-woke? Is it good? Is it overhyped? Here's an honest review. What to do, ladies and dudes and toads in between? You know who I be. It's Lord Vulgar Desperado, here to give you and your crew a review in your living room. And today, let's go over the box office breaker known as Super Mario Bros. The movie. Gotta let y'all know if it's as woke as someone like Tim Pool has said it is, or it's as anti-woke as a lot of popular media has been trying to push. Also gotta let you know if it's just overall generally a good movie. But before we get into all of that, do know that there will be some spoilers in this review. And please, if you wouldn't mind, hit that like, hit that subscribe. We'd really appreciate it on the road to 1,000 subs. Thank you very much. Alright, let's not bury the lead and just get with the overallness of this film. Overall, it's a good movie. It's good for the family, it's good for the friends, it's good for anyone that's literally ever touched a Nintendo controller and had the joy of playing some Super Mario. This is a feel-good movie. This is one of those movies that you would throw on during the day when you're doing your laundry or other household duties or homework or whatever, making a YouTube video. It has a very good just overall vibe to it. Like, it's a very happy movie. I mean, look how bright and colorful this is. The voice actors are killing it. For the ones that hate Chris Pratt because he's Christian and not woke, quote unquote, he kills it as Mario. The voices are good. Charlie Day as Luigi is awesome. Anna Taylor Johnson, I always forget her name, but the chick that plays Peach, she was fantastic. Seth Rogen, who's, kind of been something different than the Seth Rogen of yesteryear. He was awesome as Donkey Kong. At first I was like, but the Seth Rogen laugh works with that fool as well. It's pretty hilarious. Michael Keegan-Key as Toad is great. And Fred Armisen, I always fuck up his name as well too, was good as Cranky Kong. No complaints there. Illumination as the studio, it's fantastic. The facial expressions, the animation, it's top tier. It's like some video game shit, but, more to life, if you will, more animated. Overall, I think most people are going to enjoy this movie. It's a kid's movie, so it's not super long. And like I said, it just has some good feel-good vibes. Now, what I really want to dive in is to the whole debate on if it's woke or if it's anti-woke. Is Peach this girl boss bitch? Like, what is the deal when it comes to this? And I feel that it's a little bit more complicated than is something woke and something not woke, because there's such nuance to this topic and such nuance to writing and film nowadays that it's very hard to say what's woke and what's not woke, right? If you've seen this Tim Pool video recently where he did a review for the movie, and for those who don't know, Tim Pool is a pretty huge YouTuber, mostly in the political space and pop culture as well. But in his review, he basically said the movie was woke. And again, if you only know things from maybe a surface level, you can understand where this opinion comes from. Because generally speaking, as he put, Peach is a damsel and she's not necessarily a damsel here. Now, there is the argument that she does, need to get help from Mario to stop Bowser, and she does get kind of saved later towards the end of the film. But the point I want to bring up is the fact that now we're at this point where the woke crowd has kind of essentially written themselves into a corner. So now, any character that exhibits skill and talent with ease and no difficulty in gaining it, and especially if she's a female, will nowadays be deemed woke, even if it's not. Whereas like 10 to 15 years ago, maybe even 20 years ago, it might have been endearing or somewhat off-putting to have characters that are essentially know-it-alls or Mary Sue-ish, if you will. For example, with this film, like Peach, she does kind of show or train Mario-ish, kind of shows him the ropes, and she's obviously a natural in the Mushroom Kingdom. She's been growing up there forever and got trained by the Toads, and she's generally going to be viewed in this scene as, like I said, somewhat of a know-it-all or a Mary Sue, because she says to Mario, she's like, oh, if it makes you feel any better, I didn't get it on my first try either. And he's like, you got it on your first try. She's like, yeah, and it's just kind of, like I said, Mary Sue-ish. Like, oh, you're great at running these death-defying obstacle courses on your first go-around. Okay. So it's hard not to look at the character with an eye roll as they express how awesome they are. And listen, with Peach here, The fact that she's not in your face about it makes it more bearable. You know, if you compare Peach to like someone like Korra from Avatar Legend of Korra, Peach is still like sweet, kind, and not a bitch, right? That's where I think the whole girl boss thing and woke, it's going to be very hard to tell when it is and when it's not. Because here with Peach, like I said, she's still a likable character, but she still exhibits or exudes traits, or rather has lines of dialogue or mannerisms that exhibit what nobody wants to see anymore on the fucking screen. So, whereas Tim Pool's like, it's woke because of, you know, her attitude, it's hard to be like, yes, that makes it woke because in some realms, like, it's not that bad, right? If you throw on an anime and the chick is super awesome, super powerful, you don't really get a bitch vibe from her because, you know, she still likes men or still wants to be in relationships with men, or, you know, like a lot of things, like simple nuances like that to a character, you know, like the strongest female in fucking, I don't know, Tenchi Muyo, right? Like, you know, where, but she still wants the man. She's still girly. There's still femininity to her, right? You talk about like the Legend of Korra or something like that. First episode, she was just all in your face as a toddler. I'm the Avatar. I'm the strongest thing ever. And you're just like, all right, bro, I'm out.
I'm the Avatar. You gotta deal with it.
I was done on that show. So, you know, Peach here at the very least is still likable. She doesn't overshadow Mario. And to his other point, you know, he states that, you know, Mario is buffoonish and, you know, silly and needs all this help and blah, blah, blah. He's even like, you know, a loser that lives at home. And you're just kind of like, well, that makes sense for the story. I mean, he's kind of got his plumbing company up and running. You know, that's a different take than what they were, you know, back in the day when the Mario Bros just had their business. And I think it was in movies or comics, they, you know, just kind of get sucked into the Mushroom Kingdom. They're up and coming here. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, there's an argument to say that they made the characters younger and, you know, to appeal to maybe more younger, struggling youth, whatever. Doesn't really matter. It's not so out of the norm that, you know, he would come to this magical world and, you know, need assistance and power-ups to get stronger. I mean, you see in the first 5 minutes of the movie that Mario's no slouch. He was ready to fight that one dude fucking with Luigi. He showed you he knows the hardest of parkour when he was running through New York to get to that job when their car broke down. So, you know, there's this idea that because you see the man weak or because you see the woman strong, it's automatically woke garbage, wherein, in fact, there's more to wokeness than it is those two defining traits, right? Take She-Ra, but He-Man with Teela, right? That show is called He-Man, but it gets overshadowed with fucking Teela running the show, right? Same thing with like, you know, in a concept of like She-Hulk. Hulk shows up, shouldn't even been in the show, but he has to be overshadowed by She-Hulk, where she can literally tell, I can control my rage better than you. And it's like, did we all not forget the first fucking Avengers movie when this nigga, forget it, over digressing right here. So the problem is when you have these characters that exhibit these same traits as these other bitchy characters, it's very hard for an audience to tell. I know I was sitting in the movie theater like, oh my god, here we go with Peach, you know. But here I am, you know, someone that did a video before talking about how maybe a forward nature in Peach, per that comic book, is not so out of the ordinary. And I think here they do it well. I do think it's pretty balanced because after literally, I would say, the first instances of like some girl boss tendencies, Peach is sweet, she's likable, she's not calling Mario an idiot, she's not doing a lot of things. And, you know, to Tim Pool's other point, he called, like, Peach calls Mario a nobody at one point. Context is key, man. Like, they were kind of just keeping him on the low, and it was really kind of funny. It's just kind of, people are just getting really stringent when in things that are woke and not woke, okay? Sometimes chicks are going to be a little bit strong and tough or have a little bit more edge. And for entertainment sakes, as long as she's not a raging bitch, it's all good in the hood, baby. I don't know what else to tell you. And I mean, look, you know, I'd be honest to say this isn't the fault of these writers in the last several years. You know, they've kind of written themselves into a corner with this. A lot of up and comers, and including myself, when it comes to writing, it's going to be hard to, depict females in any kind of different light, because on the one hand, if she's a damsel and doesn't pass the fucking Bechdel test, you're a misogynist. And on the other hand, if she's this raging Cora, stronger than all the men combined, she's Mary Sue. There's a hard fine line of balance that people need to find again when it comes to writing their female characters. I mean, fuck, bro. Showing my age here, but who remembers Xena, right? Xena was a very strong female character, but if you've ever fucking watched it, you'll see that she's not only likable, but she does have weaknesses. She's not just I'm stronger than everybody and I'm better than everybody. I think attitude is key here. Just like with Peach, she shows that she's no slouch, but she's likable. She has friends. She has love in her heart. And I think that's the key when it comes to at least the woke female side. When it comes to the male side, as long as they're not a little cuck boy, we're good. And Mario is not that. Plain and simple. The man has dreams. He's trying to get his business up and running. Now he's here to save the day, protect his brother. It doesn't get much more manly than that. Just because he looks goofy at times doesn't make him any less of a man. And I think that's kind of some of the problems when it comes to people in their review, is that they forgot that, we're not always going to be Billy Badass, and she's not always going to be little sweet Susie. Sometimes, especially in the modern world, things are going to be a little blurred and grayed, but it doesn't mean that you make the men pussies and the women's dicks, right? It's just that simple. Overall, though, I almost don't want to spend too much details on it, because this is a great movie. I think most people will enjoy it. If when people talk that it's anti-woke, if they mean that it's something that you can kind of turn your brain off and escape from all the dramas and the insanity of our society right now, that is definitely what this movie is. You really get transported into a magical world that's just fun and lighthearted. The music, all the callbacks to so many different Mario games and lore. I mean, it's fantastic. Like I said, if you've ever touched the Nintendo, played a Super Mario, you will love this movie, And I mean, it sucks that certain concepts, right, whether woke, strong, girl boss, whatever, it sucks that is, becoming the make or break for movies, because I truly believe in the get gray areas. Life is not just black and whites. I mean, yes, evil and good are pretty easy to tell. When something's right and when something's wrong. But just because Peach is not the sweetest little damsel that had, no lines because she's at the next fucking castle, doesn't mean that this movie is somehow just disrespectful. I mean, look at the boy Mario here, fucking up these Koopas up on the Rainbow Road. It's steezy, man. He's no slouch, he's no bitch. He went up against Donkey Kong nigga, let's go. I'm here to save my brother. And I think that's the thing that's going to be missing in some people that view this movie as woke. Now, again, on the anti-woke tip, I don't think it does anything exuberantly to be fuck the agenda and but all it does is be what it's supposed to be, a good family fun film. And if that makes it anti-woke, I get what you mean. But truly and honestly, it's just a good movie, man. I think most people will enjoy this. If you've ever loved Mario, even me, I'm a Sonic fan. Sonic's my guy, but this is great. Arguably better than the first Sonic, and maybe better than the second. But it's good. It's a good movie. I think most people will enjoy this. Honestly, there are naysayers in the critics because they want it to be more woke. They probably wanted Peach, again, to be that bitchy character. And then there are going to be people that want Mario to be, I don't know, Mr. Super Alpha. But remember, if you made it this far in the movie, Mario is 5 foot nothing, right? Mario is the embodiment of, hey, I don't have to look like the hardest and baddest mofo to be the baddest mofo. Plain and simple. So, you know what it is. Vulgar Desperado in the booth. Jabberjaws here to give you some shit for you and your crew in the living room. And we'll be back with another video sometime soon. Please hit that like and subscribe on your way out. And let me know what you think in the comments. Did you like the movie? Did you think Peach was a girl boss? Do you think she was overbearing? What's the dealio here? Let your boy know. Catch you on the next one. Peace.